Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7 o'clock main news. In tonight's headlines, His Highness the Emir receives citizens who praise His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed on being honoured as a humanitarian leader and Kuwait as a humanitarian centre. His Highness the Prime Minister arrives in Italy, part of an official tour that will also take him to Germany and the United States of America. The Syrian government criticises the outcome of the anti-IS international conference and calls it another activity in the wrong direction. And the United States launches airstrikes across the Iraqi capital, marking the start of an expanded action against Islamic State extremists. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace in the presence of His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah citizens who congratulated His Highness the Emir on the occasion of the United Nations honouring the State of Kuwait as a humanitarian centre and His Highness the Emir as a humanitarian leader. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace in the presence of His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, who asked for permission from His Highness the Emir to start an official tour that will take him to the Italian Republic, the Federal Republic of Germany, to represent His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed at the 40th anniversary of the cooperation between Kuwait Investment Authority and Daimler Company, and to the United States of America to head Kuwait's delegation to the 69th session of the UN General Assembly in New York. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace His Highness Sheikh Nasser Al Mohammed Al Ahmed Al Sabah. His Highness the Emir also received the Governor of the Central Bank of Kuwait, Dr. Mohammed Yusuf Al Hashil. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received a cable of congratulations from His Majesty King Felipe VI of Spain, in which he congratulated His Highness for naming Kuwait a humanitarian centre and himself a humanitarian leader by the United Nations. The cable said this honouring was in recognition and appreciation of His Highness the Emir's contributions and support to humanitarian action, which boosted Kuwait's position at the international level. King Felipe also wished His Highness the best of health and continual support for the State of Kuwait under his prudent leadership. His Highness the Emir sent a reply cable expressing thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King of Spain for his kind feelings and best wishes as expressed in his cable, as well as for his congratulations on being named by the United Nations the humanitarian leader and Kuwait the humanitarian centre. His Highness the Emir also thanked King Felipe for his praise of the State of Kuwait and its outstanding support to the relief work across the world, adding that this gesture reflected the existing good relations between the two countries and their friendly peoples. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received a cable of congratulations from His Excellency President Giorgio Napolitano of the Italian Republic, in which he congratulated His Highness the Emir on naming Kuwait as a humanitarian centre and himself as a humanitarian leader by the United Nations. The cable said this honouring was in recognition and appreciation of His Highness the Emir's contributions and support to humanitarian action, which boosted Kuwait's position at the international level. The Italian President also wished His Highness the Emir the best of health and continual support for the State of Kuwait under his prudent leadership. His Highness the Emir sent a reply cable expressing thanks and appreciation to His Excellency the Italian President for his kind feelings and best wishes as expressed in his cable, as well as for his congratulations on being named by the United Nations as a humanitarian leader and Kuwait as a humanitarian centre. His Highness the Emir also thanked President Napolitano for his praise of the State of Kuwait and his outstanding support to the relief work across the world, adding that this gesture reflected the existing good relations between the two countries. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received a cable of congratulations from His Excellency retired General Sir Peter Cosgrove, the Governor General of the Commonwealth of Australia, in which he expressed on behalf of himself and the government and people of Australia best wishes and congratulations to His Highness the Emir on his naming of Kuwait, on the name of Kuwait as a humanitarian centre and himself as a humanitarian leader by the United Nations. The cable said this honouring was in recognition and appreciation of His Highness the Emir's contributions and support to humanitarian action, which boosted Kuwait's position at the international level. He also wished His Highness the best of health and continual progress for the State of Kuwait under his wise leadership. His Highness the Emir sent a reply cable expressing thanks and appreciation to His Excellency the Governor General of Australia for his kind feelings and best wishes as expressed in his cable, as well as for his congratulations on being named by the United Nations as a humanitarian leader and Kuwait as a humanitarian centre. His Highness the Emir also thanked the Governor General for his praise of the State of Kuwait and his outstanding support to the relief work across the world. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah today sent a cable of congratulations to His Excellency the President of the United States of Mexico, Enrique Pena Nieto, on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah sent a cable of congratulations to His Excellency the President of the United States of Mexico, Enrique Pena Nieto, on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mubarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, also sent a similar cable of congratulations. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah today sent a cable of congratulations to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega Saavedra, on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah sent a cable of congratulations to His Excellency President of the Republic of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega Saavedra, on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mubarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, also sent a similar cable of congratulations. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace His Highness Sheikh Nasser Al Mohammed Ahmed Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the Governor of the Central Bank of Kuwait, Dr. Mohammed Yusuf Al Hashil. His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mubarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, and his accompanying delegation arrived in Italy this afternoon on a two-day official visit, during which he will meet Italian President Giorgio Napolitano and Prime Minister Matteo Renzi for talks on ways of boosting the historic relations between the two countries. His Highness the Prime Minister was received at the airport by His Excellency the First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah, Kuwait's Ambassador to Italy, Sheikh Ali Khalid Al Jaber Al Sabah, Kuwait's Consul General in Milan, Abdel Nasser Haji Boukhaddour, the Director of Protocol Department at the Italian Foreign Ministry, and members of Kuwait's Embassy in Rome. His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mubarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, and his accompanying delegation left the country today on an official tour that includes the Italian Republic, the Federal Republic of Germany, and the United States of America, where he will represent His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah at the 69th session of the UN General Assembly. His Highness the Prime Minister was seen off at Kuwait International Airport by the Acting National Assembly Speaker Mbarak Ibn Al Khrenij, the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Interior and Acting Minister of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs, Sheikh Mohammed Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Commerce and Industry and Acting Minister of Education and Higher Education, Dr. Abdul Muhsin Al Mid'ij, a number of sheikhs, governors, commanders of the Army, Police and National Guard, as well as senior state officials. The accompanying delegation of His Highness the Premier includes the First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence Sheikh Khalid Al-Jarrah Al-Sabah, the Minister of Finance Anas Khalid Al-Saleh, the Minister of Oil and Minister of State for National Assembly Affairs Dr. Ali Al-Umair, the Undersecretary of the Foreign Ministry Ambassador Khalid Sulaiman Jarallah, and a number of senior officials from His Highness the Premier's Diwan and the Foreign Ministry. Syrian Deputy Foreign Minister Faisal Al-Miqdad criticised today the outcome of the International Conference on Battling the Islamic State or IS militants held in France the day earlier. Critical of the international community for not taking any decisions with regards to helping Syria fight the IS, Al-Miqdad called the Paris meeting another activity in the wrong direction. Al-Miqdad added that by dropping Syria out of the equation, the international community's fight against the menace of terrorism won't succeed. World powers backed military measures to help defeat IS militants in Iraq, boosting Washington's efforts to set up a coalition, but made no mention of the tougher diplomatic challenge in neighbouring Syria. The US conducted airstrikes against targets around southern Baghdad overnight as part of their strategy to combat Islamic State or IS extremists in Iraq and Syria. An Iraqi military spokesman said that the airstrikes will be a continuation and a beginning of other operations with the ultimate goal of liquidating all the militants in the areas near Baghdad. The airstrikes came a week after US President Barack Obama outlined his military plan to combat the extremists, authorizing US airstrikes inside Syria, stepping up attacks in Iraq and deploying additional American troops, with more than 1,000 now advising and assisting Iraqi security forces. 6 police personnel were killed and 2 others were left injured today when an armoured vehicle exploded on the Rafah-Arish road in North Sinai. According to Interior Ministry statement, the explosion occurred as a joint security convoy of policemen and armed forces personnel was passing through the Rafah road. As security forces intensified their measures in North Sinai in reaction to repeated militant attacks that target army and police officials, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi condemned the recent attacks and vowed to continue to confront militancy in the volatile peninsula. Egypt's Ministry of Foreign Affairs put the death toll for terrorism acts which took place since January 2011 until April 2014 at 971, including 664 security personnel. Officials in Afghanistan said that militants attacked a NATO fuel truck station near the border with Pakistan, setting off magnetic bombs and torching more than 20 supply trucks. The attack started as a first militant detonated a car laden with explosives and another one engaged Afghan security forces in a short gun battle. According to the NATO-led force in Afghanistan, 3 of its service personnel were killed, while another 5 were injured in the suicide bomb attack in the Torkham area, which the Taliban claimed responsibility for. Earlier, police said at least 13 people had been injured in an attack on a foreign motorcade near the US Embassy. The incidents come as the country's 2 presidential contenders continue negotiations to form some sort of national unity government. A woman was killed and at least 1 person was injured today when a mortar shell struck a bus in the Petrovsky district of the rebel-held city of Donetsk in eastern Ukraine. Meanwhile, residents in Donetsk reacted negatively to the news that Ukraine's parliament has ratified an agreement to deepen economic and political ties with the European Union. Some local residents believed Ukraine was being closer to Russia, while others wanted full independence for their region from Ukraine. The Parliament also passed legislation to grant autonomy to the rebellious east of the as part of a peace deal, as well as amnesty for many of those involved in the fighting. The ratification vote draws a line under the issue that last year sparked Ukraine's crisis, which resulted in the ousting of the president, the annexation of Crimea by Russia, and a war with the Russia-backed separatists that has killed more than 2,600 people. Mexicans worldwide are gathered today to celebrate 204 years of independence. Often mistaken for the May 5th holiday or Cinco de Mayo, independence celebrations are split into 2 days. Festivities traditionally start September 15th at midnight to mark the day that Mexico called for independence, and festivities last until late September 16th, which is the official Independence Day. More in this report with Badriya Saleh.
The Symphony Hotel was bustling with color and cheery countenance as people of all nationalities gathered there to celebrate with Kuwait's Mexican community as they recognized their 204th Independence Day. Known as Grito de Dolores, on this day in 1810, Mexico called for the end of Spanish rule, and the 15th of September has ever since been remembered and celebrated worldwide with warm festivity and delight. Here in Kuwait was no exception.
Well, we are celebrating this tonight exactly 204th years of independence. In September 15, the personalities who start in Mexico the movement of independence make a very special convocation to the country, to the people of Mexico to start the movement. And that's why we are trying to reproduce this ceremony here in Kuwait, this time for the second time, and just to show how we start the celebration of our independence.
These customs, these traditions have been for more than 200 years, and we want the people from here, from the Middle East, to know a little bit more about Mexico. It is not just tortillas and beans. We are very happy people, and we like dancing, and the best way to show that we are happy about our Independence Day is our dancing and our dresses, different dresses for each state of our country.
Just before midnight on September 15th, the President of Mexico speaks from a balcony overlooking thousands of revelers in Mexico City's famed Main Plaza. The speech, given by every Mexican president every year, is replicated in small towns across the nation and across the world by each ambassador, and ends with the cry of Dolores, El Grito de Dolores, as well as many rounds of Viva Mexico.
I have two kids, and they're half Kuwaiti, half Mexican, and of course I don't want my kids to forget about my roots. So that's why I still dance and I do food, and just speak the language, of course, with them. So we never forget your country.
Celebrations in Kuwait held true to the traditional festive flair, with traditional dance, food, speech, and a hearty warm welcome. Viva Mexico was a unanimous thought, evident in the room full of cheer.
It was both a joyous and bittersweet occasion as everyone gathered was not only celebrating 204 years of independence, but also honoring His Excellency the Ambassador, as this will mark his last time celebrating Mexico's National Day while on term in Kuwait. At Symphony Hotel, I'm Badriya Saleh, reporting for the English News.
And moving to local financial news, the three main indices of the Kuwait Stock Exchange ended the trading session in the green, with the price index gaining 28 points to reach 7,572 points. The KSX 15 index also put on about 3 points and settled at the level of 1,205 points. The share of the Housing Finance Company was the top gainer during the session, while that of Al Mudun International Real Estate Company suffered the biggest loss by closing. For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. And to recap tonight's news, here are the headlines once again. His Highness the Emir received citizens who praised His Highness Sheikh Sabah on being honoured as a humanitarian leader and Kuwait as a humanitarian centre. His Highness the Prime Minister arrives in Italy, part of an official tour that will also take him to Germany and the United States of America. The Syrian government criticises the outcome of the anti-IS international conference and calls it another activity in the wrong direction. And the United States launches airstrikes across the Iraqi capital, marking the start of an expanded action against Islamic State extremists. Thank you for joining us.